Our work is in effort to support the work of workplaces and regulators to protect the health of workers and to prevent work disability in the Canadian economy. I think it's important to remember that over the last 100 years, the standards that we have expected in workplaces around worker health protection have risen, and they will continue to rise. The expectations around the standards of what safe work is will continue to rise. We've seen lots of innovation in terms of workplace management of risk, including the adoption in most of the developed economies of occupational health and safety management systems. I'm old enough to remember working when there were not information and communication technologies driving the work that we were doing. I think it's fair to say that 30 years later, it's very difficult to find work processes now in the developed economy that are not in some way being controlled, monitored, or directed by either minor amounts of information and communication technology or quite substantial amounts. So we've had entire new forms of work emerge as a result of this technology, and we're not done yet. We're sort of halfway through this particular transition in the global economy, the reliance on information and communication technology to determine both what work is and the pace of work. Perhaps even the 24/7 economies that we are now so accustomed to, whether it's the air travel industry or the provision of healthcare in hospitals, would not be possible at the degree of efficiency that we currently see without information and communication technology. And an observation about how information and communication technology potentially is one of the mechanisms by which we can continue to strengthen occupational health and safety practices in small enterprises. Small enterprises are fundamental to the economic well-being of most of our economies. About 70% of employers in the EU are responsive to occupational health and safety management system because it's in their supply chain as a criteria that they need to meet, is something that over the next decade we should imagine will become stronger still. There are concerns that as machines become ever more intelligent, they replace human labor. And so we have a concern about the deterioration in the numbers of jobs arising from the replacement of human labor with machines. We have concerns about the pace of many workplaces being controlled by information and communication technology. We can anticipate the development of more sophisticated personal protective equipment that includes sensors that monitor the presence of people in the context of moving equipment. We can imagine personal protective equipment being much more responsive to the environment that people are in, so hearing protection that turns on when there are loud noises. We have seen, I think, a radical, I think is a fair word to describe, transformation of the principles of labor inspection services in the EU over the last 20 years from a reliance on inspection relative to very prescriptive regulatory standards. It's quite a radical transformation for labor inspection services in the European Union, and I think it's been successfully accomplished. One of the questions we were interested in, among many, was the degree to which the regulator maintained oversight around the requirements in workplaces to train workers to recognize and manage hazards in their workplace. We will see innovation in the support services to small and medium-sized enterprises in the area of occupational health and safety. As we move forward, we will be developing active labor market policies to address the consequences of the changing nature of work in the context of an aging workforce.